Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this from. This is my bottom review. This is my bottom review for the Dalton Smith vs Jose Zepeda card. Bottom review of the full Dalton Smith vs Jose Zepeda card. And yes, get straight into it. And we'll start off with the biggest one, Dalton Smith. Dalton Smith stopping Jose Zepeda with a sitting and fifth round stoppage. Fucking ice cream fan going off, which is honestly just stupid. But yeah, Dalton Smith stopping Jose Zepeda with a sitting and fifth round stoppage in probably one of the most how a fighting turn in a couple of rounds for me, because I have to say the first couple of rounds Jose Zepeda. First couple of rounds, I would say the first 3 rounds, I had Jose Zepeda winning the first 3 rounds for me. I felt Dalton Smith grew into the fight in terms of the third round. Third round was probably more 50-50 between Smith and Zepeda. Zepeda started well in terms of the first 2 rounds, but then Dalton Smith started to make Jose Zepeda miss in terms of the third round, even though I still think Zepeda won that round. But then after that, Dalton Smith was more busier, Dalton Smith grew into the fight after the third round. As you see there, my Smith vs Jose Zepeda star card. And Dalton Smith, before the stoppage, round 4, was his best round. That's where he fully grew into the fight and had joy in terms of the 4th round. And then the 5th round, from out of nowhere, we've not seen Jose Zepeda get stopped like that. Honestly, we're not seeing Jose Zepeda get stopped like that. A beautiful sexy body shot from Dalton Smith, which was a sitting for Jose Zepeda. It was a legitimate body shot as well. Legitimate body shot. None of this, or was it your pure nonsense type of Usyk and Dubois. Right on the body, right on the torso. And it was a sitting for Jose Zepeda, and Jose Zepeda just couldn't get up. He wouldn't get up. And to be honest, I don't think you could get up from that, to be honest with you. And I tell you what, fucking fair play to Dalton Smith, because I did have him to win. I did have Dalton Smith to win, because I did say Zepeda from 2 years ago would knock out Dalton Smith. But I'm not going to say he's washed up Jose Zepeda. I mean, people are moving the goalposts for me. People are all of a sudden now moving the goalposts, saying Jose Zepeda's what, when they're the same people who said Zepeda is going to be a problem for Dalton Smith. Which one is it? Which one is it? A statement win for me. Absolute statement win. I haven't seen many fighters do that to Jose Zepeda. And we did not expect Dalton Smith to get a stoppage. If you did, you're lying to yourself. Because I always felt Dalton Smith's best chance of winning was probably on points. Snatching a points decision for me. But I tell you what, didn't expect him to knock Zepeda out. I really did not expect that at all. And fair play, it's a statement win. Absolute statement win for Dalton Smith. For me, Dalton Smith, what a win for his resume as well. What a win for his resume. And everyone should be praising Dalton Smith right now, because he really deserves it. He really deserves it. Forget Adam Nassim. You know what? Forget Adam Nassim. Adam Nassim is nowhere near Dalton Smith's level. Dalton Smith is beating a world level opponent. Adam Nassim, for me, best win is probably then at hooping level. Let's be real. Adam Nassim, still early in Adam Nassim's career. We could get Adam Nassim versus Dalton Smith down the line, but we're definitely not getting it next, in my opinion, because of the back and forward between Eddie Hearn and Boxer. Eddie Hearn being a bit of a wind-up merchant after the fight as well. And I agree with Eddie Hearn though. Why should Dalton Smith fight Adam Nassim? Drop down levels to fight Adam Nassim. Dalton Smith is beating a world level gatekeeper in Jose Zepeda. So world level opposition for me now for Dalton Smith. World level opposition. Maybe Dalton Smith fights for Mantry, a final eliminator against Sandor Martin, for example, where the winner of that fight faces the winner of Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia if it goes ahead, which I don't think it will, but that's just my opinion. Obviously, I just think the Devin Haney Ryan Garcia situation. Ryan Garcia is not mentally, for me, it's not mentally ready to fight for me. In that mental state, he shouldn't be fighting Ryan Garcia. He's all over. He's all over the place, and it could get ugly in that fight against Devin Haney. Because Devin Haney, I actually think that I do believe Devin Haney stops Ryan Garcia in 6 rounds for me. The way Ryan Garcia is done at the moment, all over the place. And so I have my doubts on Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia happening, but if it does happen, then I could see a final eliminator between Dalton Smith and Sandor Martin. Sandor Martin's not a bad fighter, by the way, but I tell you what, I think Dalton Smith's got a chance then Sandor Martin. That's the next step up for me, and I think that's a good step up as well. Sandor Martin, who has been fighting for world titles, especially as well. Another opponent that could be next for Dalton Smith is Ian Powell. Ian Powell's trying to make a fight with Sabel Matthias at the moment. Don't know what's happened on that. But obviously we've got Fitz and Hitson's coming up against Gustavo Yamos. And obviously, if Richardson Hitsons obviously wins that fight, he's going to become mandatory to fight Sabel Matthias. So it is hot enough. It's hot enough in that super lightweight division. Weezy's Broadway has been linked with a fight against Dalton Smith. I don't know what to make of that fight, Dalton Smith, Weezy's Broadway. But it's probably the right time to fight Weezy's Broadway after Weezy's Broadway got a proper. Weezy's Broadway got dominated, didn't he, by Devin Haney. Devin Haney won all 12 rounds against Weezy's Broadway in an absolute massacre. So maybe Weezy's Broadway is actually probably at the right time for Dalton Smith. You're getting him at the right time. I don't know though. I still wouldn't throw Dalton Smith in with Broadway yet, in my opinion. I think the sensible ones for me is Ian Powell or Sandor Martin. Sandor Martin in the final eliminator to face the winner of Haney versus Garcia. So I'm looking at them 2 fights next for Dalton Smith. Howard Davis, I tell you what, Dalton Smith, Howard Davis, he's not right mentally either, in my opinion. Something's not right with him for me. And I would fancy Dalton Smith against Howard Davis all day long. So I would go for Ian Powell or Sandor Martin in the final eliminator as the next opponent for Dalton Smith, in my opinion. So, but what a win. What a win for Dalton Smith. Against a world level fighter as well in Jose Zepeda. A dangerous Jose Zepeda as well. Up next then, we've got Sandy Ryan stopping Terry Harper to retain a WBO World Welterweight title. Sandy Ryan with a 4th round stoppage win. Obviously, Terry Harper's team pulling Terry Harper out. It's quite interesting, I say, because Terry Harper, for me, that was my star card. In terms of the first round, I thought Terry Harper looked much better than he performed against Cecilia Breakouts in the last fight. Because that Breakouts fight for Terry Harper was pretty boring, let's be real. It was pretty boring. Breakhouse was obviously, it's that awkward fighter, isn't he? So she's probably that awkward fighter, so I'd probably get Terry Harper off with that one. But I've always thought, I think I said in my preview, that I'm quite shocked that Terry Harper was stepping down a weight division from super welter to welterweight. And I felt that gives Sandy Ryan an advantage, in my opinion. And I did say in my preview, I wouldn't be shocked if Sandy Ryan did stop Terry Harper, because of Terry Harper chopping down that weight division. I understand why Terry Harper done it, because he wants to become a 3-time world champion, well, 3-weight world champion. But I always felt Tough Harper. If this was at super welterweight, I'd probably favour Terry Harper. But the fact that Terry Harper dropped down to welterweight, I had Sandy Ryan winning comfortably on points. Sandy Ryan winning dominantly on points as well. And I tell you what, after round 1, it was dominant from Sandy Ryan. Cutting off the win, stopping Harper all the way through. Harper just turned it out there. And it was only a matter of time before the fight was stopped, in my opinion. And fair play to Terry Harper's team. Terry Harper's team just went, yes, you have another day. Because even Terry Harper's team were seeing just no way Terry Harper's winning this fight at all. And I think Terry Harper's team saw a stoppage coming, to be honest with you. And they just thought, you know what, let's just wave it off. And to be fair to Terry Harper, Terry Harper was respectful, and even she accepted it as well. But fair play to Terry Harper for being ambitious, dropping down the weight division, try and win another world title, yet another world title. But obviously, I was right in the end. It did cost Terry Harper. But clinical. It was a very clinical performance from Sandy Ryan. Very exciting fighter to watch as well. And Sandy Ryan, for me, what is next for Sandy Ryan? I think the Chester Metastill rematch needs to be settled, in my opinion. There's a start to settle there, with it ending in a draw, which it shouldn't end in a draw. Sandy Ryan was completely robbed in that fight. And Sandy Ryan should be a unified world champion right now. And obviously Chester Metastill's fighting Norman Price, so maybe the winner. It depends who wins that fight. If it's Norman Price, it ain't happening. Sandy Ryan versus Norman Price is not happening at all. Let's be real about it. Just because of Eddie Hearn and Boxer's relationship. Obviously, the back and forth between Eddie Hearn and Boxer, I think it's going to be hard for them two to have fights, to make fights with each other, to be honest with you. So, the Chester Metastill rematch starts to settle there, in my opinion. Chantel Cameron, we don't know what's happened with the trilogy between Tate Taylor and Chantel Cameron, but on your side, that's probably dead now, in terms of that trilogy. Obviously, not dead in the water, they can still make it, but it won't be next for both fighters, so Chantel Cameron's definitely available. And the Natasha Jonas fight is now being spoken about. Natasha Jonas, a unification between Sandy Ryan and Natasha Jonas. Imagine that. And to be fair to Natasha Jonas, I actually think she will tell Boxer. I actually think Natasha Jonas will happily fight on the zone than Sandy Ryan, depending on the podcast. But the only problem again with that is bloody Ben Shalom and Boxer want it on style. And that's when the bloody thing, the back and forwards with Hearn and Boxer once again. So it's probably going to be Chantel Cameron or Chester Metastill, probably next for Sandy Ryan, to be honest with you. Unless Eddie Hearn and Boxer can actually work together, I think that would be great for Boxer as well. We've seen Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren now work together, but let's be real, that's because of the Saudi money. Let's be real. Without that Saudi money, them two would still be at each other's throats. Let's be real. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what's next for Sandy Ryan. But I think the Chester Metastill fight is still there for me, for Sandy Ryan. And I think Sandy Ryan be hoping Chester Metastill gets the win against Norman Price, and then we can have a rematch for them unified titles, where Sandy Ryan will find and hopefully settle the score. But An absolute clinical performance from Sandy Wyan. So fair play to her. Absolute clinical performance from Sandy Wyan. Then a very good fighter in Terry Harper, who is obviously a 2-time champion of course. And a statement win. I say it's a statement win for Sandy Wyan as well. I think a statement win. And I can probably see... I think it's just that Chester McCaskill fight is a star settle for me. And I think Eddie Hearn will want McCaskill to win against Roman Price. And we can have that rematch for the unified titles. But up next, we saw the upcoming Ismail Davis outclass Troy Williamson, and it was an outclass performance. Outclass Troy Williamson in Sheffield, and this was a dominant win for Ismail Davis. Only criticism for Ismail Davis I have is I had to see him be on the front foot more, but he did enough, didn't he? He was doing enough to win probably mostly every round. The best round of the day for Troy Williamson was round 6 for me, where it was more in round 6. It was more toe-to-toe fight, and that's the way Troy Williamson loves to fight, toe-to-toe. But yeah, Ismail Davis for me was just too swift. It was too swift for Troy Williamson. Too swift. Swiftness, movement. Troy Williamson was always trying to cut the win. Trying to get to Ismail Davis, but I think Troy Williamson also, I think the weight, obviously being 4 pounds overweight, obviously on the weigh-in, played a part for Troy Williamson for me. But that ain't good enough from Troy Williamson for me. That's not good enough. You can't be doing that as a boxer. 4 pounds overweight, in my opinion. So I think we should all be happy Ismail Davis won, because Troy Williamson got booze, didn't he got booze, and I would say rightly so. I'll say rightly so, because it's not good enough behaviour, in my opinion, to be 4 pounds overweight at the weigh-in. And I think obviously the morning after the weigh-in, obviously the morning of fight day, they were both happy. They were both happy with the weight. Troy Williamson must have lost a couple of pounds, I think. Must have lost a couple of pounds. It'd be interesting to see how much weight Troy Williamson lost after that weigh-in to try and keep this fight on. But yeah, a first 12-rounder for Ismail Davis, first step up. Absolute dominant win for Davis. Boxing at distance. Too stick for Troy, as I said in my notes there. Uki has a weight issue. Stiff performance from Davis. And I'm looking forward to see who Davis fights next in terms of a step up. And finally, we had Chun Sofian beating Campbell Hatton. Of course, Ricky Hatton's son, to defend the Central Area title. It's not really a shock, but I think we all expected Campbell Hatton to win, didn't we? I think we all expected Campbell Hatton to win. But it's not really a shock, because Chun Sofian, at the end of the day, he was the defending champion. So it was no mud. And it was the first proper step up for Campbell Hatton as well. And yeah, Chun Sofian, for me, he won it comfortably. He did win that fight comfortably for me. I think Finn won that fight by 4 rounds for me. I started it 7-3 in Finn's favour. For me, Campbell Hatton, I'm not going to be too on Campbell Hatton too much, but the lack of win IQ, was still there for Campbell Hatton. Campbell Hatton was so raw as well. He was so raw. He was so easy to hit, Campbell Hatton as well. He was so easy to hit. Lack of win IQ. I think Campbell Hatton, this defeat though could be a blessing for him. Could be a blessing in disguise. Because if he would have won that fight, if we would have saw a robbery in that fight, I actually think it would have been more bad for Campbell Hatton. Bad for Campbell Hatton. So I think Campbell Hatton, for me, he can now do and learn from it. Campbell Hatton, and I think it'd be a straight rematch then. I think they'll go straight into the rematch for me. Eddie Hearn will want to make that rematch. I think that's the right decision for me for Campbell Hatton. If I'm Campbell Hatton, I'm going straight into the rematch for me. Going straight to the rematch, work on what you did won in the first fight and try and improve. And if it's the same result in the rematch, then now we can start asking questions about Campbell Hatton. So, but the hype train is now definitely stopped. Even though to be fair, I didn't hype Campbell Hatton up. I didn't hype him up at all. But most people did hype him up, saying, "Oh, he's Ricky Hatton's son," blah blah blah. And he got told a yes. He got told a lesson for me, Campbell Hatton. But I would definitely still go straight into a rematch if I'm Campbell Hatton. I would definitely go straight into a rematch. I think that should be next for both fighters. I think James Orfient will even give a voluntary defence as well to Campbell Hatton. He will want to fight as well. But it just shows, doesn't it? The first real step up for Campbell Hatton that he's faced, he just beat. But it was a great and bottom performance though from James Finn. You do have to be honest. I'm not saying that's it for Campbell Hatton, by the way, because I actually think a defeat is actually quite good. I actually think a defeat is quite good for early in his career for Campbell Hatton. And then a first real step up. He got thrown in straight into a step up. He got beat. This wasn't all night. Go straight into a rematch for me. Go straight into a rematch. See if you can get revenge. If not, move on to maybe top down level. Maybe top down level for me. Because I do think we still need to see the rematch between James Finn and Campbell Hatton, as most James Finn did dominate that fight. Because it's always the big question, how would Campbell Hatton do in a rematch? Because he was so raw, wasn't he? He was so raw, did have to win IQ. He was so easy to hit, Campbell Hatton. So, yeah, for me, I'll go straight into rematch. Learn what you did one. Try and work on that in training. And see what happens in the second fight. If it's the same again, then yeah, I think wrestling soon now needs to be asked. So I'm not going to be too critical of Campbell Hatton. Of course, when we see father and sons in boxing, like we see Campbell Hatton, we see Conor Benn, we see Chris Eubank Jr. Yes, be real, they're all under the dad's shadows. Yes, be real, they are all under the dad's shadows. They're never gonna reach their dad's levels. None of them are not gonna reach their dad's levels. But at least put them at a respectable level. For me, and for me, did Campbell Hatton need to go into boxing? I don't think he did, because his dad was rich, wasn't he? His dad would have been rich, and Campbell Hatton, nice yard, would have been given his life as well. I just don't know why he needed to go into boxing, Campbell Hatton, to be honest with you. Because you can see right there, he's so raw, he had to win IQ. But I will say, yes, give him another chance. In a rematch, or unless Campbell Hatton decides to take a tune-up, get back to winning ways, then go into a rematch straight away after that. Maybe that could be a sensible choice for Campbell Hatton. So yeah, but anyways, done you for there for my Dalton Smith vs Zepeda bottom through card. Feel free to leave your thoughts down below in the comments, and I shall see you. Is it tomorrow? Yeah, I shall see you tomorrow for the Fitz and Hitsons vs Dustamo Yamots full card preview. That is coming out tomorrow, and I'll see you all there for that card preview. So feel free to leave your thoughts on this Dalton Smith vs Zepeda card review down below in the comments. Take care, stay safe, and see you all there. See you all later, and have a good rest of the day, everyone. As Dalton Smith steals the show with a statement win against Zepeda.